Imagine waking up in the pitch dark. The year is 30,000 BCE. You are shivering inside a cold cave, surrounded by the breathing of your tribe. Suddenly, the night air freezes. A low, vibrating growl echoes from the entrance. Two glowing eyes cut through the shadows. You look up, and your heart stops. It's not a nightmare. It's a Smilodon, a saber-toothed tiger. 400 kilograms of pure muscle, tree-trunk legs, and two dagger-like fangs, 28 centimeters long, gleaming in the moonlight. You have no guns, no iron armor, no escape route. A single bite from this monster will sever your spine instantly. For thousands of years, this was the daily reality of your ancestors. We weren't the kings of the world. We were nothing but soft, weak, defenseless meat. But today, these monsters are gone, and we are here. How did a creature built like a tank, designed by evolution to be the perfect killing machine, lose the war to a hairless, flat-toothed ape? Get ready, because this is the story of the most brutal, bloody, and impossible war in human history. 30,000 years ago, the world was ruled by fear, and that fear had a name: Smilodon. This wasn't just a larger version of a modern tiger. It was 50% heavier, built with massive shoulders designed to pin down giant prehistoric bison and camels. It didn't chase its prey across miles. It ambushed them. It waited in the tall grass, exploded with terrifying power, and used its massive body weight to crush its victim to the ground. And then came the weapons, those iconic 11-inch curved canines. They weren't meant for chewing. They were precision daggers designed to slice open the soft throats and carotid arteries of large mammals. One strike, and the prey would bleed out in seconds. But what made the saber-tooth a true nightmare for early humans was one terrifying fact: they didn't hunt alone. Archaeological evidence suggests Smilodon hunted in coordinated packs. Imagine 3 or 4 of these heavy killers working together like an ancient military unit, calculating their moves in the dark. They could run at 50 kilometers per hour. They could see perfectly in the dark. They tracked the smell of human sweat from miles away. To them, humans weren't dangerous. We were an easy snack. Every month, tribes lost loved ones. A hunter dragged away into the bushes while gathering firewood. A child taken from the edge of a camp, whose screams echoed through the dark valley before suddenly cutting to silence. We were a species on the brink of extinction. For thousands of years, humans hid deeper into caves, praying the night would end. Populations dropped. Entire clans vanished into the stomachs of these apex predators. By all biological measures, the saber-tooth should have won. But around 15,000 years ago, something inside the human brain clicked. We didn't grow claws. We didn't get faster. Physically, we remained the same weak, hairless primates. But mentally, we weaponized our intelligence. First, we changed the way we used fire. Before, fire was just a tool kept inside the safety of caves. Now, humans brought the fire outside. We built massive, roaring bonfires at night, creating a glowing perimeter of safety. To a nocturnal predator like the Smilodon, whose eyes are designed for darkness, the blinding, unpredictable movement of fire was terrifying. It blinded them, neutralizing their greatest asset, the night ambush. Second, we upgraded our weaponry. Basic stone-tipped spears were no longer enough. Humans discovered obsidian, a volcanic glass that could be chipped to an edge sharper than a modern surgeon's scalpel. A spear tipped with obsidian didn't just pierce, it caused devastating, unstoppable internal bleeding. But the real game-changer was a piece of pure engineering genius: the Atlatl. The Atlatl was a wooden spear thrower that acted as an extension of the human arm. By utilizing leverage, it allowed an ancient human to launch a heavy obsidian spear with incredible force and velocity. The saber-tooth could run at 50 kilometers per hour, yes, but it couldn't outrun a lethal missile flying at it from 50 meters away. For the first time in history, humans could kill the monster before it even realized it was being hunted. Better weapons were only half the solution. The ultimate weapon was our ability to process patterns and work as a giant network. Humans stopped hunting in small groups of 5 or 6. Instead, entire tribes unified. 20, 30, sometimes 50 individuals moving as a single, highly disciplined army. We studied the Smilodon like scientists. We learned their schedules. We tracked their footprints to find their dens. We figured out which females were pregnant and moving slower. We identified their territory, and we went on the offensive. Instead of waiting to be ambushed, we became the ambushers. Just like the mammoth hunts, humans began digging deep tactical pits along the paths where Smilodon packs traveled. We lined the bottoms with fire-hardened wooden stakes. Then, using a terrifying combination of synchronized shouting, banging rocks, and waving torches, we drove the proud predators into a state of sheer panic. Imagine a pack of saber-tooths, used to being the absolute kings of the forest, suddenly surrounded by 50 screaming humans throwing fire. Terrified, the giant cats would sprint blindly, crashing right into the hidden traps. Once the predator fell and was injured by the stakes, the hunters would close in. They didn't get close enough to be scratched. They stood at the rim of the pit, systematically raining down heavy spears from a safe distance until the massive beast could no longer breathe. Year by year, decade by decade, the balance of power shifted. Humans grew bolder, more organized, and hyper-efficient. We began targeting their food sources, outcompeting them for prey, and killing their cubs before they could mature into killers. By 5,000 years ago, the great Smilodon, the supreme ruler of the Ice Age, was completely gone, extinct. They didn't die because they were weak. They died because nature faced something it had never created before. Strategy made flesh. A saber-toothed tiger had the physical evolutionary advantage. It had the teeth, the speed, and the power, but it lacked the ability to plan for tomorrow. It couldn't teach the next generation how to adapt to a changing world. It couldn't build a network of 50 minds working toward a single, long-term goal. That is what separates you from every other creature that has ever walked this earth. Your ancestors survived the deadliest teeth in history not through strength, but through cooperation, innovation, and unstoppable intelligence. So the next time you look at a massive problem in your life and feel like helpless prey, remember whose blood runs in your veins. You are the descendant of the hunters who looked into the eyes of the ultimate monster and wiped it off the face of the earth.